Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you look at, I know this is kind of old, but like Splinter Cell Double Agent, the graphics are really not good.
Or I was going to say Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has always looked, the gameplay has always looked pretty, but all the cutscenes are just like, oh, that's just like crap. It really is not very good. Speaking of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, it's Assassin's Creed 3, but with pirates. That's it. There's really no bigger additions to gameplay except they look to be enhancing the ship-on-ship combat. I guess like if you're looking for like a pirate-based game, it's going to be good. But to me, I liked Assassin's Creed when it was like kind of like an underground shadow war between the Templars and Assassins. This seems to be like ar yar har diddly dee, you know, like a full-on pirate game. I'm like, not that pirates aren't cool, but I thought I would like to see a little less pirates and a little bit more assassins.
In a few years, pirate games are going to be like World War II games or something. I
was going to say zombie games.
Oh well, yeah, but like both have been like exhausted. You know, they hit a certain point where like World War II games, there was nothing new being done with them.
There was, because, I mean, there's only so many times where you can see the Battle of Normandy without saying, it's like, you know what, I want to fight from the German side.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which you never did see. I've never played a game from the German side.
Battlefield.
Anyway, so that we reached maximum saturation of war games, apparently.
Yeah, that was the last. That was the last frontier we could have solved, and we solved it with Battlefield.
I mean, we've even had World War II fought with dinosaurs, for God's sakes.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a new dinosaur game coming out.
Really?
Throwing that out there. There's a game that features dinosaurs. I think me and Devin noticed it, and we're like, Adam would like this. I have no idea.
Thanks for that.
We should have remembered. Well, we're going to take a quick breakdown. When we come back, we'll get to the PlayStation 4.
I want to talk a little bit more about Ubisoft and E3, but then we can get to it.
And then we'll get to the PlayStation 4, and then we'll do our comparison.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned right now for these messages.
Hi, this is Terry Parsons.
And I'm Craig Hilliard.
And Steve is not here right now.
Because he's been kidnapped by aliens.
But if you'd like to hear the best in blues...
From the Mississippi Delta...
to the Great White North...
tune into the Blind Lemon Blues.
Every Monday, 9 to 11 p.m.
on 93.5 CHMR FM.
Terranova Council 1452 of the Knights of Columbus holds bingo every Sunday and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. sharp on St. Clair Avenue. Help support the Knights of Columbus, who help support our community.
Attention class, settle down. My name is Chris Connolly from the band Hot Panda, also known as your professor. Let's get one thing straight. If there's some of you that think this class is going to be a walk of the cake or a flop about in the park, you are sadly mistaken. Half of you will drop out. And the other half of you will wish that you were dead. If I could offer any advice to those of you still hell-bent on attempting to pass my class, it would simply be to keep your radio tuned to CHMR 93.5 when you're in St. John's.
And we're back here on 93.5 CHMR FM, and this is the Aperture, a weekly hour-long discussion of all topics geek culture. I'm Rory DC.
And I'm Adam the Portsmouth, and that station ID was brought to you by the Emperor Palpatine of the Empire. something dark side. something complete. Anyway, so yeah, we're talking today about E3.
Yeah, and we left off talking about Ubisoft.
Yeah. The only other games I wanted to talk about that are being made by Ubisoft that are coming out that look good are Stick of Truth, South Park, The Stick of Truth, and Rayman Legends. Mm-hmm. Rayman Legends is the sequel to Rayman Origins, which was one of the best games to come out in 2011 and the best platformer to be released since like the days of the Super Nintendo, in my opinion. Excellent game. Doesn't look to be a lot of gameplay changes from Rayman Origins, and there's already been a lot of information announced about Rayman Legends, but It looks like an excellent game. And South Park: The Stick of Truth is a Paper Mario-styled RPG about South Park, and I would describe some of the gameplay that this game's going to be about, but I literally can't talk about it on the radio. I can't. Look at a gameplay trailer or something, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But suffice to say, if you're a fan of South Park, you'll like this game. Yep. It honestly looks really, really good.
Yeah, it looks interesting for sure.
Especially because I'm a huge South Park fan. So
yeah, well, South Park's a great show. Actually, one of the best animated series of all time.
Yep.
In my opinion, at least.
A couple of stuff from EA. Not a lot.
Watch Dogs.
Oh, Watch Dogs. Thank you.
Yep.
So have you seen a lot of stuff from Watch Dogs, Rory?
I've not seen a lot. No.
It looks kind of interesting. It looks a lot like.
I'm interested in what I saw, though. I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's a third-person action adventure shooter in which you can use your smartphone. In game, you can use your smartphone to hack into security cameras or city power grids or cars or things like that. And I'm not really sure what the plot's about, but I think it has something to do with you're trying to uncover some conspiracy or you were framed and you're trying to clear your name or get revenge on people. Kind of standard. But the gameplay looks really interesting because they showed the guy was being chased by police, so he whipped out his phone and he hit an app and it said blackout, and all of a sudden every light in the city went dark and the police were whoa, where did he go? And he managed to slip away. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then the lights came back on the city for a little bit, but I'm like, that's really cool how you can do that. And then there was another one where he was kind of hunkered down and he used his phone to hack into a camera, and then it was an escort mission, but he had to hack different security cameras to let his buddy know when to move and when not to move, when guards were looking for him and when not. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and also for those TV nerds out there like myself, Aiden Pierce, the main character, or at least the character the player controls, is voiced by I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, either Noam or Noam Jenkins. Who's a Canadian actor who played Detective Jerry Barber on Rookie Blue, a show that I quite enjoy, and he was really good on that show. He's a good actor, and he's got a nice voice, so go voice acting.
Hooray for him.
And I'm very excited. It's coming up for everything, too.
Yeah.
Although, obviously,
Ubisoft usually does cross-platform games. So.
I'll be getting it for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, so will I.
When the time comes.
So EA, the biggest and probably my favorite announcement is that DICE is making Star Wars Battlefront 3. I dropped to my knees and cried when I heard that, because Battlefront 2, one of my favorite games of all time, one of the most fun shooter series I've ever played. It was so much fun.
It was too.
And I'm just so glad that they're making another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But apparently what they're saying is that it's not going to be a Battlefield ripoff. It's going to be its own gameplay, and it's going to so it's not just going to be Battlefield 4 with Star Wars characters. It's going to be its own unique thing. So that's cool how they're taking the time to actually develop this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dragon's Age 3 Inquisition is launching in fall 2014 for next-gen platforms. It looks like it's it's going to be about the Darkspawn, which are the enemies of the game. They're coming back, and you have to try and stop them. At least I think that's what's happening. And also, there's a huge war taking place where you're trying to fight corruption or something. You're fighting to save the world. I was never a big fan of the Dragon Age games. I don't know about you, Rory.
Not really, no.
But this game looks all right.
It's nothing against them. It's just
again, it's the elves and dwarves, and dwarves. That's all it is. Elves and dwarves. Nothing new.
If you're not there are some fantasy games that can compete with the Elder Scrolls, but not many.
No.
And so it's like
Dragon Age ain't one of them.
I'm sort of at the time in my life where I've stopped playing games that I think are subpar versions of other games.
Yeah. I'll definitely give it a rent at least.
I'll rent them and but I'm not gonna put a lot of time into them.
Yeah. Apparently they're making a new Command and Conquer game, and there's a closed beta for that coming out this summer. So
that'll be interesting.
That'll be cool. New Need for Speed game called Need for Speed Rivals. Also, there's a Need for Speed movie coming out.
It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, it is. It looks really bad.
If they haven't made a really they've made a lot of Need for Speed games that are acceptable to play. None of them are unplayable, but they haven't made a really good one since Underground 2.
I will say this one doesn't look that bad, but again, I play Forza, and that's really it for me for racing games. I'm not a huge racing game fan. So
I play Midnight Club, and they're not making anymore. So I'm pretty much done with racing games.
Is there anything else? Mirror's Edge 2 was announced.
That's good.
Apparently, it's
Good
not,
year for Dice, yeah?
What?
Good year for Dice.
Oh yeah. Apparently, it's a